This is CBC Here and Now.
Welcome to Here and Now. I'm Anthony Germain. Well, has stranger danger ever held you back from selling things online? When it comes to buy and sell businesses, some are wary of inviting a stranger into their homes or going to meet someone in an unfamiliar place. And here on the Northeast Avalon, police want to help. Here Now's Ryan Cook explains how.
It can be a bit of an intimidating process. You find an item that you like and it's a good deal, but is it really worth going to meet a stranger in a place that you're not familiar with? Well, lucky for everybody, there's now a place you can go that reduces the risk of getting ripped off or something worse. You'd have to be pretty bold or stupid to pull some shady moves here. These orange spaces are a place for strangers to meet for the first time, not in a romantic way, but for the ever-growing world of online sales.
This gives consumers and people selling goods an opportunity to come to a place close to a police station near the front entrance and also under the cover of CCTV footage where they can exchange goods safely.
It's a good idea, perhaps unfortunately necessary. In 2016, a Toronto woman was allegedly assaulted when she responded to an ad for a cat. The same year, same city, a 68-year-old man was charged with sexual assault after posting a job ad. Perhaps the most well-known case is the killing of Tim Bosma. The Ontario man was looking to sell his truck. Serial killer Dylan Millard responded to his ad. There haven't been any high-profile cases like that here, and Cadogan hopes these spaces at detachments in St. John's, CBS, and Mount Pearl will help keep it that way.
Of course, there's a high volume of foot traffic outside a police station. Also, the concept that police officers are constantly back and forth in this area. You're basically situated between two Royal Newfoundland Constabulary buildings here.
The RNC will be doing a launch for these spaces in the coming weeks. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
A former cop in Corner Brook was back on trial today for a second time. Sean Kelly is charged with making indecent phone calls to a woman. The former RNC officer was sentenced in 2015 for making lewd calls using his police-issued cell phone. Today's trial involved a different woman whose identity is being protected. That woman said she received 3 calls that made her feel scared and uncomfortable. The calls came from a familiar but unknown man who called her by name and spoke about sexual acts. She said she complained to police, but it didn't go anywhere until she learned that Sean Kelly, an acquaintance of hers, had been charged with making other indecent phone calls. She again went to police and charges were laid. Kelly's trial runs for 2 more days. A ban on studded tires has been stopped in its tracks. The mayor of Mount Pearl introduced the motion at the municipality's NL conference over the weekend. Now, he says studded tires damage our roads and was pushing MNL to lobby for a province-wide ban. But the group wasn't on board. While road maintenance is costly, MNL says that winter driving safety is the priority, and it wants more research on the impact of studded tires first, as well as a look at alternative options.
Well, it was a pretty nice day out there for most of us today. We did see some serious clouds move in through the day, and you can see that on satellite and radar, and that's ahead of our next weather maker. It's already bringing some rain and some messy weather to New Brunswick. That's what's headed our way overnight tonight and through the beginning of tomorrow morning. So we do have a couple of freezing rain warnings in place, as well as snowfall warnings and a special weather statement for the Straits. I'll have all the details coming up.
I'm Terry Roberts here on board the MV Tim S. Duel in the St. Lawrence Seaway. Beneath my feet, 27,000 metric tons of iron ore from the Labrador Trough. In command of this ship, a very talented Newfoundland captain who's breaking down gender barriers.
Some new people you have a hard time with sometimes, but no, for the most part I get the respect that I deserve.
We'll have that story coming up on Here and Now.
Start to show a little more.
Stay tuned, it's a great story. Now to politics. The Premier is promising that there will soon be movement on a long-promised inquiry. The concern hit the floor of the House of Assembly today when the Progressive Conservatives demanded to know what has happened since 2017 when Dwight Ball committed to an inquiry that will examine the treatment of Innu children in the child protection system. 150 Innu children from Shehishi and Natwashish were in the province's care at the time. This fall, the Child and Youth Advocate released a report that said 1,000 of the 1,005 children in care in Newfoundland and Labrador, 345 of them were Indigenous, including 150 Inuit. Outside the legislature, the Premier said the terms of reference and inquiry protocols are still being worked out.
I could see this happening within the next few months. Hopefully that's what I would want to see. I'm working towards that, as I've been for quite some time. Didn't want those delays from the beginning either. We were hopeful that we could get through those terms of reference, get this done, get this started. And it's a priority for me, as I said to the officials within the department, to get this started and get it done. But first and foremost is to make sure that we've got a good process in place so that we can get the appropriate recommendations and get those that are directly involved in this, giving them the fair and fulsome opportunity to actually participate.
Well, bookworms across the province are excited. It's the biggest literary award in Canada. The Scotiabank Giller Prize is going to be presented tonight, and this year 2 of the 6 finalist authors are from this province. Michael Crummey's novel is called The Innocents, and Megan Gale Cole's novel is Small Game Hunting at the Local Coward Gun Club. Both Crummey and Coles are Memorial University alumni, and to celebrate, MUN is holding a Giller watch party tonight. Starts at 10:30 at Bitter's Pub in St. John's, and CBC Television will air tonight's gala live. You can also stream it on YouTube, Facebook, or the CBC Gem. The winner takes home not just the bragging rights and the publicity, but also a grand prize of $100,000. To other news now, a bakery on Bell Island celebrated its 30th anniversary this weekend. It's a major milestone for many businesses, but a bigger deal for this little community-run bakery. Started by a cooperative, its focus on the community has kept the doors open for the past 3 decades. Here now's Jeremy Eaton has more.
Much like the bread being baked on Bell Island every day, the Rolling Pin Bakery was built by hard-working people. Community-owned and community-driven.
And we've created it right from scratch. And it continues to be one of the main businesses on Bell Island.
On Saturday, it celebrated its 30th birthday. While the ferry ride to the island is short, it was a long journey to get to this point. Community leaders like former NDP MHA Lorraine Michaels started talking about the idea of a cooperative on the island in the early 80s. Ken Kavanagh saw it as a chance to create some good on an island hit with hard times.
I was teaching here at the time, and what I would hear from kids is they didn't want to finish school. School wasn't important. It was a case of, well, I'll just simply go on social assistance, income support when the time comes. So I just wanted to do something that would create some jobs in my community.
Create a sense of unity here, a sense of oneness and a sense of concern about our community, and perhaps create 3 or 4 jobs. That just might be the start of something that certainly might grow and prosper in the community.
It took a few years, lots of meetings and countless volunteer hours, but the bakery opened in 1989. People like Pat Rose saw potential. As a kid, only 19, Rose would hang out in the town square after attending the co-op meetings about creating the bakery. His buddies just didn't get it.
And he said, "Why don't waste your time? The bakery's not going to work here." So that has stuck in my mind for the last 35 years. And I think that's what kept me involved, is just to prove him wrong. So I don't know if it was to prove him wrong or just that I wanted to prove that we could do it as a community.
And just like the Tickle, that stretch of water between Bell Island and Portugal Cove St. Phillips, it isn't always smooth sailing.
At times throughout the year, you can't get over to the other side to get your products. When ice used to come in and be in sometimes 3 to 4 weeks, we would be the only source of baked products in the community.
And unlike the bread in the oven here, the bakery almost fell flat.
Got to a point there just over 2 years ago, we had decided we were actually going to close the building. Sales plummeted.
The entire co-op board quit back then. They got new members, fresh ideas, and hired new staff.
It is, I think, the backbone of our community. It's a place where people from our community call their own. It's their bakery. It's not the co-op's bakery. It is Bell Island's bakery.
I enjoy the baking. I enjoy dealing with the customers and chatting with the customers. I got to know a lot of people over the years working here.
I feel so proud to be here today to see that the work we did has resulted in a bakery that's still operating 30 years after.
While the bakery continues to supply Bell Island with baked goods, it doesn't forget where it came from. Pictures from the beginning were unveiled to hang in the bakery for many years to come. Jeremy Eaton, CBC News, Bell Island.
The bread looked pretty tasty. Going to a community in Labrador now that's also trying to get some positive vibes going. Sheheshi is trying to sow some positivity into that community in the wake of the recent suicide crisis. And one woman is crafting a quilt of hope. And many community members, some of them seeking counseling from the Mary May Healing Centre, well, they are pitching in with patches of their own. Helen Astor hopes to complete the project this week.
When people ask me what I want on this quilt, I ask them what is hope for them. So they put messages like strong, strength, even the pictures of a tent, those kind of stuff like hope. Some of the patches I've seen are the words Inu. When they were talking about it, what their strengths are, they even put the drum. I guess that's also a tradition, and it's the strength of my community. Culture is very important still, and I think culture for us is something that we could move forward with. This quilt would symbolize when we went into crisis that we work together, and it will also give us something to look forward, that quilt will remind us we are strong.
This is one of the last small patches of untouched woods in downtown St. John's, but it may be the site of another condo development.
It's this monstrous size of a building that they want to develop.
I'll speak with a concerned neighbor coming up.
Welcome back to the program. First, we start with breaking news.
Temperatures are dropping into the minus single digits.
Time now to check in with our Carolyn Stokes.
It is just packed with people.
The company says it's picking up salmon.
Looks like an absolutely gorgeous afternoon.
And don't know about the afternoon, but the morning. What I've noticed about November so far, Ms. Brawweiler, November can be really ghastly. So it's been cool, but really quite a few sunny days. A lot of raking going on the weekend.
Yeah, we have. It was a beautiful morning this morning, even though it was
crisp.
Crisp. It was certainly crisp, but the lack of wind made it pretty nice out today. Yeah. So here's where we sat as you were walking out the door. So -2. So it was crisp, as Anthony put it. -5 in Corner Brook, and then Lab City was the cool spot at -10 for your double-digit temperatures. Now this afternoon warmed up quite nicely, especially along the west coast. 7 degrees in Corner Brook, 4 for St. John's. A number of areas sitting in those single digits. But since we've lost that sun, the temperatures have significantly dropped. So -1 right now in Corner Brook, 0 degrees. In St. John's and Lab City, you're currently sitting at -6. Now we did see some cloud cover move in early today. Most of the day we were sitting under high pressure. That's why we saw those beautiful blue skies. And then in behind that, we do have an area of low pressure starting to make its way towards us. And this one is bringing some warmer air and some colder air for some of us as we head through the night tonight. So here's where we'll be sitting overnight. Along the west coast, generally in the minus single digits around Port aux Basques, you'll be hovering around 2 degrees. So you're going to stay above 0 for the most part. As you head further inland, though, that's where we're going to see those temperatures plummet into the minus single digits. And those winds are going to change from easterlies to southeasterlies along the coast, northeast coast that is, sitting around -1 overnight tonight, and then into those minus double digits for Lab West towards central as well, -13 for Happy Valley Goose Bay. And then -6 for the Straits. Now these temperatures are going to play a role in what's happening as we head through the next 24 hours. We do have freezing rain warning in effect already from Port aux Basques all the way up through Gros Morne, Green Bay, White Bay, and down through Burgeo, including the interior. Now it should be rain along most of the coastal areas. It's further inland and in the valley where we're more than likely going to see some significant freezing rain. It'll start overnight and then continue through Tuesday morning. Northern Peninsula, you're staying at snow, so we're looking at about 10 to 20 centimeters, and then a special weather statement in effect for the Strait, 10 to 15 centimeters expected into the afternoon as well. So here's what the futures tracker is showing. After midnight is when we should start to see that freezing rain move in. Again, to the north of that, along Green Bay, White Bay, you're going to see snow-rain mix and some freezing rain in that as well. As that warm air advances a little bit further north into the afternoon on Tuesday, everything should change over to showers. And then we're going to see mainly a rain, or will be a rain event for the island. So here's what the model, keep in mind this is the model projection as to how much freezing rain will fall, but you can see the most looks like 15 to 20 millimeters of freezing rain, otherwise a good 5 to 15. Again, further inland you go, the more you will see. Temperatures on the Avalon are going to stay actually quite warm. Those winds will be strongest in the morning, and then we should see some clearing, winds easing into the afternoon, but you are looking at a good 10 to potentially 20 millimeters of rain. That's going to push us right through to Grand Falls, Windsor, where it'll be a little bit more messy. Along the coast, again, 4 degrees for Stephenville. These are your afternoon temperatures, and then staying cool above 0 though, but again, that's where you're looking at most of that snowfall. Lab City, you are going to sit this one out, -7 degrees tomorrow, and you're looking at plenty of sunshine with just a few flurries along the coast. Anthony?
Thanks, Ashley. Well, St. John's City Council recently declared a climate emergency, and now some residents hope that strong stance will spur the city to save one of the last parcels of untouched green space in the downtown. A petition is circulating to rezone the area, protecting it from a proposed condo development. Here now's Carolyn Stokes spoke with someone who wants to see that space saved.
So first, let's get our bearings. We're here on Queens Road. Where is the green space?
It is just at the foot of the rooms behind this now vacant building that the Anglican Cathedral owns.
This is the green space that we're talking about. How big is this piece of land?
The land is a little more than an acre. The sign out front says 1.2 acres. And you've got the forested area in the back that is right behind the rooms, backs onto Harvey Road. And then you've got this building, which was used by a street outreach program as a dance studio, and the Anglican Cathedral just kind of stopped caring for it, let it go into ruin, really.
Why preserve this particular piece of land?
This particular piece of land is, as the petition says, is the last naturalized green space in the core of the city. What naturalized means is that it's a wild space. It provides habitat for all kinds of different bird species. This cool deciduous forest, the insects that are harbored in here. But a forest is a useful thing. It doesn't have to be a green space where people sit on a park bench, where you let your dog run. It's these 100-year-old trees. I mean, I feel sometimes like I'm in an 80s movie and I have to fight the villain who is threatening to cut down the trees and to replace it with a glass block.
What does the city need to decide?
The city will need to decide a zoning change. So right now it's zoned with the building on one side as institutional and the forest on the other as open space. What the developer is asking for is a rezoning to commercial mixed, which means that from this spot they can go up 10 stories, which is ludicrous. It's entirely out of sync with the rest of the neighborhood. Even from Harvey Road, they would be 4 stories up. So if you can see the highest tree point there, even from the road, that's only 2.5 stories up. So I feel as though if people could come here and see the perspective of like how ridiculously high up in the sky that's going to be, they would recognize that it's this monstrous size of a building that they want to develop.
You live on Garrison Hill, so this chunk of land is literally in your backyard. So what do you say to someone who says this is just a case of NIMBY, not in my backyard?
I would say to them that I have been supportive of development. You can see Garrison Place right there, which is attached to the John Howard Society, which is an excellent addition to the neighborhood. Certainly we had questions about it when they were designing it and would they remove trees and whatnot, but it's just another excellent example of assisted living. So that is a useful contribution to our community and our neighborhood. But to put 40 luxury condos right here, I don't see how that could possibly benefit the neighborhood. It would ruin the ecclesiastical district, which is all stone and wood houses. Why? I mean, I just don't see the benefit to it. So I get the question. I know the NIMBY thing is a difficult one. I would certainly welcome something that was more reasonable in scale and more reasonable in its design.
Okay, so what happens next?
Next, there's a public meeting. That's on the 27th at 7 p.m. at St. Mary's Church over in the west end of downtown. They're not holding it at City Hall for I don't entirely know what reason. And I'm pretty sure that that's just going to be a Q&A session with the developer. Who knows what will happen from there, but eventually council does need to decide whether or not they'll allow the rezoning and allow the additional amendments that the developer is looking for.
All right, Jeff Bourne, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming over.
I'm not going to send someone to do a job that I wouldn't do myself.
Beneath my feet, 27,000 metric tons of iron ore from the Labrador Trough. In command of this ship, a very talented Newfoundland captain who's breaking down gender barriers. We'll have that story coming up on Here and Now.
Clyde Oxford, the one-handed fisherman who finds ways to get things done, by hook or by crook. Sunday at noon and Monday at 7.
Well, tonight, Here Now highlights a woman who's making her mark in the male-dominated marine shipping industry, juggling and raising a newborn with a career that takes her away from home for months at a time. And our story this evening was months in the making as well, and it took our Terry Roberts and videographer Bruce Tilley from a Newfoundland outport to the Great Lakes. And thanks to a nickname from her playful father, it's a story we're calling Aye Aye, Captain Gurley.
Now this is some tight squeeze. One massive ship, nearly 4 hockey rinks long, creeping along the St. Lambert Lock on Montreal's south shore. Another day at the office for the crew. And what's with this? Water sprinklers on the deck. Well, they keep the hull cool, because under this hot July sun, the boat could bend. These large ships, sailing these narrow nautical arteries, are called lakers. On a day like this, it's a pleasure cruise along the St. Lawrence. Feels a bit like a marine road trip. And the sights, some wonders of modern engineering. The voyage takes us through a network of locks, gradually lifting these ships more than 180 meters from the Atlantic Ocean to the head of the Great Lakes. That's the height of a 60-story building. Now a look at how it works. In about 6 minutes, the Duel is lifted 4.5 meters above the level of Montreal Harbor. It's a process repeated many times before reaching the Great Lakes and the heart of North America. Boats come and go, up and down the locks. People around here hardly give it a second glance. But there's something different on this trip, and you see it up here, through the windows of the bridge, a silhouette, hair back in a ponytail. Meet Charlene Lundin. She's not even 40, captain of the Tim S. Duel.
Right now we're moving through the St. Lawrence Seaway.
Charlene's from Outport, Newfoundland, and making her way in a man's world.
Just take that wheel off again. Hard to port.
It's an awesome responsibility, sailing this ship safely through these waters. It's all on her. One slip-up could be costly, especially when the waterways are this tight. But Charlene is cool under pressure.
It's just long and time-consuming.
Today, the ship is weighed down with more than 27,000 metric tons of iron ore pellets from the Labrador Trough, making its way to a steel factory in Hamilton. Home is thousands of kilometers away, but for Charlene, this is the next best thing.
I think it suits my personality. I'm not a big people person. It's a good way to get away from people and not have to deal with the BS that comes with it.
They call her Cap, or Ma'am, and she's a rare find. Dozens of Canadian flagged bulk carriers navigate the Great Lakes. But you could fit all the female captains inside a small, compact car and still have room for a passenger.
Oh, Jean should probably have white meat.
To the other women on the Duel, she's an inspiration.
I have a lot of admiration for her because she's very good at her job. She's very good at her job. And I think that's even tougher being a woman. And actually, I think maybe a lot of men might learn from her. I think women have to be held to a higher standard out here because I think they're waiting for it in the defaulter. And I just think she's really come out strong.
And the boys on board, they've got a lot of time for their captain.
She may have less experience, but she achieves just as best or even better than some others that have more experience with this system. That's where she really surprised me.
Yeah, see that green buoy down there?
Yes.
Let's steer on that.
So I was really amazed from the beginning.
She's also a good communicator and an excellent ship handler from what I've seen so far. So she's got the communication skills, command skills, you might say, and the technical skills to go along with it from what I've seen.
Captain Lundin hasn't been promoted, and she isn't in the position she is because she's a woman. Captain Lundin is our senior shipboard manager based on capabilities and management skills and drive.
Jean Bouffard's been sailing the Great Lakes since 1976. Back in the day, there was an old superstition. It was bad luck to have a woman on board. Now he's taking orders from one.
I really enjoy working with her. And she knows it too. I told her once or twice.
So what's it like being surrounded by men?
I've been on this ship before, so they already know me. New crews tend to try to push my limits a little bit more.
And what do you do when people push your limits?
They see a side of me you don't want to see.
Paula Morley is chief cook on the Duel and knows how difficult it can be for a woman to work on a ship. Not long ago, she wouldn't recommend it.
It was pretty rough back in the day, so if you were willing to be out here, you were willing to take, stand up for yourself. Because most people weren't. If you're a woman out here, then you better be able to take it. But now there's a lot of guidelines, there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of structure, there's a lot of protection for women out here now, which is good. Nowadays, the men have finally started to realize that it's unacceptable.
Charlene would love to see more women on board these ships. In fact, she would like to see more people, period.
We're in dire need of every officer, doesn't matter if it's male or female, but I would like to see more women do jobs that are not commonly for women.
When we return, we take you to the place where it all began for Captain Charlene Lundin.
Welcome back to Here and Now. We're going to return to part 2 of Charlene Lundin's story. She's a woman who's plotting her own course in the male-dominated marine shipping industry. Once again, here's Terry Roberts.
To really tell the story of Captain Charlene Lundin, you have to start here. Tiny Jean de Bay. It's early February and winter ice has closed the Great Lakes to shipping. So Charlene is home, navigating through Jean de Bay. Her first mate on this ride is Deacon the Cat. Sure, the biggest boat on the beach of her hometown would be lost in the cargo hold of the Duel. Not a single streetlight, not even a place to buy a cold drink or a hot meal. Peaceful living for 250 souls on the Burin Peninsula. Here's where Charlene lives.
When Aldo's cut,
In the winter, life is simple. Time around the house with Mom and Dad. And they couldn't be more proud.
She's an independent woman. She's strong, very friendly, and she speaks from the heart. I'm proud of her, really proud. I'm glad she went and done what she did. If she enjoys it and she likes doing her work.
You might think in an outport town they'd all be sailors. That's not the case for this family. Dad is a pipe fitter, right now working in the oil industry. Mom takes care of things at home. Charlene sailed into this career by chance.
Tell you the truth now, didn't really expect this. She was in high school. We brought her from career fair to career fair trying to figure things out, see what she wanted. She came home one night and said she's going to do nautical science. I didn't know what that was. So I read the brochures after she was done with them, and I said, okay, go for it.
I knew nautical had to do with water and science. Well, I just figured it was science until I went on my first work term and ended up on a boat.
You didn't have any deep-seated passion to want to command a ship?
No.
Charlene studied nautical science at the Marine Institute in St. John's. 7 years as a first mate. 2 years ago, promoted to captain. She's well paid, could live anywhere in Canada, but would not dare break from her Jean de Bay roots.
It's home. It's where I grew up, and Mom and Dad are here, and it's just, you can't get this anywhere else.
How lucky are you?
Extremely lucky.
And here's the husband, Mark Munday. They met through an online dating site 6 years ago. In one way, their story is typical of many couples from Newfoundland and Labrador, with a spouse leaving the province for work for long stretches. But the big difference in their case is that it's the woman who leaves.
If he couldn't take me with the job, he wasn't going to take me, so it's part of who I am, I guess.
But spending half the year away from home is not easy, especially when you want to start a family. What Charlene is not disclosing on this visit is that she's pregnant. It's early, and she doesn't want to jinx anything, but it's not a topic they shy away from.
I'm interested to see how that's going to work when we start a family, because I know usually the man's gone and the woman's on.
For right now, it's all about Charlene. So when it's mealtime, it's not surprising to see who's in command of the barbecue.
When she started off do this
cooperating.
in this career, we didn't really think about it. What she was at. It was just a career. She'd go and do something, and we're proud of her now as what she done. And now that we're being questioned about it, like you're proud of it, it makes you think in your back of your head, oh yeah, she is out there doing something amazing, something different. And other than that, she's just Charlene to us.
But Dad doesn't call her Charlene much anymore.
When she phones home in the evenings when she gets a service, and it's the first thing I'll say. Aye, aye, Captain Girlie.
Fast forward 6 months, and there's no hiding what's going on with Charlene. All is going well, but the boys are a little worried.
I'm aware of that and a bit concerned.
You're concerned about that?
Well, yeah.
Okay, why?
What can we do? That's all there. It's in the back of my mind, it's all there. But so far, we're laughing and eating our jelly beans.
And here she is, cozy in her quarters, satisfying her cravings for jelly beans, and very aware of the extra attention she's getting from her crew.
They're all treating me like they're all dads now. I'm like their own daughter or something. You get them and they're questioning you all the time. Are you eating? Are you sleeping? They're taking good care of me here.
Back on deck, the Duel has entered the Thousand Islands region of the St. Lawrence River. Perfect sailing conditions, breathtaking scenery, some buildings fit for royalty, an outdoor playground, a natural border between Canada and the United States. But for the crew, there's no time for sightseeing. They are preparing the cargo for offloading. Millions of tiny iron ore pellets, a critical ingredient for the steelmaking industry. Later in the day, the Duel is crossing Lake Ontario. Another hot day coming to a close. the sun setting on the horizon over Toronto. But pretty soon, the sun will rise on a new life for Charlene.
It's not quite as easy as being on a big boat, is it, buddy?
And here's the newest member of the crew, James Cody Mundin. Just like that trip to Hamilton, a smooth delivery. Hard to think about ships and cargo at a time like this, but Charlene is already making plans to have James join her on the Great Lakes.
I think someone's going to be spending a nice bit of time with his mom. If he wants to be a sailor, he can be. If not, well, he can be whatever he wants to be.
After all, that's what Mom did.
We're still learning. We're still trying to figure each other out.
For CBC News, I'm Terry Roberts.
And once again, thanks to Terry Roberts and videographer Bruce Tilley for that special feature report. And here now we'll have more on this subject in the days to come. Tomorrow night, why so few women work in the marine shipping industry and what's being done to try to change that.
I looked and I saw the house going out across the beach, so I knew my mother and the children was all in the house.
90 years ago today, a tsunami pummeled the south coast. More memories from that day ahead on Here and Now.
Well, welcome back. Before we get to the forecast, today marks an important day in Newfoundland history. It's the 90th anniversary of the Grand Bank tsunami.
Yeah, on this day in 1929, which is a historic year for a whole bunch of reasons, but especially here, there was a 7.2 magnitude earthquake under the Atlantic, and that created a 7-meter wall tall fountain of water that went crashing into the Birim Peninsula, and it was devastating. 27 people dead, homes and fishing gear destroyed.
Yeah, and over the years here now has heard many memories from that day, and here are a few of them.
We had the tremor 4 o'clock in the evening, and we had the wave at 7.
And I saw it with my own eyes, a big roll of water coming in, probably 20 feet high, like right white, coming. By, it struck the land and it took the houses and stages and beaches and rocks and everything went before it. and they come in, and there's only a few minutes, and everything was covered. Of course, all the destruction was caused in just a few minutes.
Well, first they thought it was raining hard, and my brother looked out the window, and the water was right up to the window ledge. And then Mom took us upstairs, and then the wave came and took us over to Bartlett's Island. The house got lifted up off its foundation, and it went over there to Bartlett's Island. When the house came back to this beach again, Mr. and Mrs. Ben Hollett came down. They lived up from us, and they came down, and Mom broke the window, and we got out through a pane of glass, 12 by 24. We all jumped out through that.
My two sisters panicked immediately and grabbed me by the arms, and they started to. We lived away from the town a little bit on a hill, and there was no communications in those days. No radio, no telephone to these areas. And so it was maybe 2 days before the government became fully aware of what had happened and the extent of the damage done.
Absolutely incredible time when you sort of think about it. No internet, no computers, no helicopters,
no warning
no
system,
communication.
No nothing, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane,
Yeah.
really, to think about how many, 90 years ago, what a tsunami like that can do.
And today, of course, got warning systems.
Oh yeah, they would have known, well, would have known, you know, almost
at
immediately.
least about the quake anyhow.
That's, yeah, and then the tsunami to follow. So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Okay, to more weather-related matters.
Yes.
There's no tsunami kind of connection here, so...
No, there is not. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit just quickly about again tomorrow, because we do have some weather on the way in the morning hours. Let's take a look at that forecast one more time. In the morning, expect some icy conditions, especially along the at least western portions of the island towards the interior as well. Those temperatures will jump up above zero, so I am expecting that freezing rain will change back over to rain as these temperatures do jump up. In the valley, though, in the valley areas, we could see that lingering freezing rain. That's just because some of that colder air may take a little bit of time to get out. Otherwise, temperatures on the northern peninsula, you're going to stay in that snow range. So you're looking at a good 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, and that's going to start in the afternoon and then continue into Wednesday morning. Otherwise, we're looking at a big push of warm air for most of eastern Newfoundland, 11 degrees in St. John's, 12 in Marystown. And then again, Labrador, you're going to sit this one out, just looking at the chance of some flurries along the coast and maybe towards central as well into the evening hours, looking at a temperature near -6. So here's a look at what we're expecting future tracker wise. There's that area of mixed precipitation from Green Bay, White Bay area, where you're either going to see some freezing rain to start potentially and then some rain or snow into the afternoon. That's going to continue to move a little bit further north. We should actually see some clearing skies in behind that through the day on Wednesday, or at least some onshore potential along northeast coast, even into the Avalon. Likely an RDF kind of day as we see some onshore flow. And then the next weather maker moves in on Thursday, and this one already Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement for most of the island. And that's because this one could potentially bring the first significant snowfall for parts of central. Mainly a rain event again for eastern Newfoundland, but again, that cold pocket of air it looks like for central areas and along the west coast. You're looking at the potential for some significant snowfall. We definitely have to keep an eye on that, though. There is still some uncertainty with temperatures up above zero. So here's a look at your Wednesday forecast. Those temperatures are going to be quite different for eastern Newfoundland, back down to the single digits. We're looking at, again, that RDF through the day. Corner Brook, 3 degrees, and then up through Happy Valley Goose Bay, you're still looking at about 1 degree. So here's a look at the next couple of days. Once we get through to tomorrow, you're looking at single-digit temperatures. No, that's not a mistake. It does look like it'll be 5 degrees right into the week, but it does look gray with the significant rainfall happening on Thursday and Friday for St. John's and eastern Newfoundland. Still have either snow or rain for central, but again, those temperatures will be hovering in the single digits right into the weekend. Same thing for western Newfoundland. Really, the island will be looking at temperatures in the single digits for the near future. And then as we head up through Labrador, we're looking at sunshine finally on Thursday, but then rain or snow moving back in for the weekend. and then a similar forecast for Western Labrador, just a little bit below the 0-degree mark, with flurries right through Saturday. Anthony?
Thanks, Ashley. To national news now. Email fraud is costing Canadians, and our Go Public team found that's leading to complaints about banks, as well as demands that the banks do a better job protecting their clients. A case in point, a Calgary man was duped into asking his bank to wire $800,000 to scammers. And as Erica Johnson tells us, that's exactly what the bank did.
This isn't how Rod McLeod had planned to spend Calgary's colder months. He and his wife had hoped to be vacationing here as proud new owners of this California condo. But instead, his bank wired $800,000 for the condo to fraudsters in Denver.
It's like picking a scab. It hurts. Over and over again.
Back in October of 2018, McLeod received an email, supposedly from his realtor, giving new wiring instructions. He didn't know it was a fraud, forwarded it to his bank. Seidel, one of dozens of private banks that cater to people with big bank accounts. When Seidel got that email, it was flagged suspicious message. The retiree didn't notice, but says it should have been a red flag for his bank.
I don't do this every day. You know, this is something that's totally new to me. They do.
Fraudsters hacking into emails, impersonating realtors and other business types, tricking people and their banks into redirecting wire transfers. It's a multi-billion-dollar problem in North America. This former FBI agent turned private investigator was hired by McLeod. He was the first to notice the suspicious message warning on the fraudsters' emails. Says banks in Canada and the U.S. need new laws.
To make it a requirement of the banks to protect their customers and to ask certain things on every wire transfer and to be on the lookout a little better for this sort of thing.
McLeod is now suing his bank, alleging it should have done a better job of safeguarding his money instead of putting his snowbird dreams on ice. Seidel Bank wouldn't do an interview with Go Public, but the CEO told McLeod he was sorry for his financial loss, but said the bank was under no obligation to reimburse him since he sent the fraudster's email. Erica Johnson, CBC News, Vancouver.
Now, since Erica's report, Seidel has put another statement, and the CEO of the bank says it followed industry practices for wire transfers and complied with its clients' written instructions to send the money. Well, now to the United States, where Donald Trump said today that he will, quote, strongly consider testifying at his own impeachment hearings. While in that same tweet, he called the whole thing a no due process hoax. The U.S. president was responding to these comments from the Speaker of the House.
The president could come right before the committee and speak all the truth that he wants. He has every opportunity to present his case.
Now, it's not clear whether Trump will actually end up testifying, but we are expecting to hear from 8 witnesses this week, and they include the man considered the star witness, as Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union. Alexander Vindman from the National Security Council will also answer questions, as will Kurt Volker, former special representative to the Ukraine. A United Nations study says there are over 7 million children in police custody or prison right around the world. And it says about 330,000 of those children are detained due to their immigration status, and that the United States is among the worst of the offenders.
The United States is one of the countries with the highest numbers. We have still more than 100,000 children in migration-related detention in the United States of America.
Now, the study says the United States detains an average of about 60 out of every 100,000 children in either its justice system or its immigration system. And that's compared to about 5 per 100,000 in Western Europe and 14 or 15 in Canada. The study also raises concerns for the 29,000 children mainly linked to ISIS fighters now being held in camps in both Syria and Iraq.
I want want to know where you're to, or maybe where this Blue Jay's to.
Blue Jay with peanuts.
He's throwing a little snack on this November day.
Can't blame him.
Nope, I'll tell you where this is to when we come back.
You should warn him you can't stop at one. We'll wind down the show with something for you dog lovers. Canada has a tradition of winter dog sledding, but in Britain there's now a growing number of fans of Dryland sled races. And today, hundreds of Huskies from right around the world raced for the world title. The noisy, exciting affair, owners say the dogs can't wait to get going, as you can see there. The muddy track kind of slowed them down a bit though. Spectators love it. Dryland sledding and husky races have become increasingly popular in Britain over the last 20 years. And then, of course, they come home, you take them off the leash, and they go all over your kitchen floor.
All muddy.
And you've got to clean it all up. Yeah, bit of fun.
Yes.
The Huskies Dryland races. All right.
As long as it's cold enough. That's
From the
all that
dogs to the birds.
There you go. What a beautiful shot there. This photo was actually taken in St. John's. St. John's East, actually. So the Blue Jay just stopped in for a little snack. Thanks to Kevin O'Leary for sharing that cute photo with us. And if you have any you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Usually you see them in twos, don't you? Should be delivering the other nut to his partner or her partner?
Maybe. Bailey was talking about how she saw 3 in her backyard
Oh,
today.
okay.
I know, right?
Right. French Blue Jays. You'll figure it out. Have a great night.
Good night.